Hello and welcome back to Melting Smiley Face. Hi guys! Listen, I know I have not made a video in like over a month, and I could give you all the excuses in the world for why I haven't done so, but at the end of the day, if making videos is something that I say is important to me, then I should prioritize making and finding the time to do so. So this topic is a topic I've been thinking about for quite a while, but it is the type of content that I hate. Now, before anyone says, girl, you've barely been making content, you gotta be real bold to start talking about other people's content that you hate. And yes, I am being real bold because there's a lot of content out there that's just not good. The same jokes slash topics get wrung out on these social media apps, and I get it. When you're a part of these social media apps and you are a part of specific communities, like you have inside jokes about topics or things that happen that you can say and immediately people will know. Like if you're on Twitter, you know that meme that's like tragic. The worst person you know just made a good point. And people know it so much that you can post the picture without the words and people will instantly know what you're talking about. And I think that's a great part of making community online. But the problem is when these jokes keep getting said, they stop being funny. When the same topics are constantly talked about, you start thinking, wow, do y'all have literally nothing else to do? And like, it's funny to complain about people on the internet and having nothing else to do, especially as someone who is chronically online as I am. But also, it's like I'm chronically online, but I'm also not talking about the same things over and over again. Like I move on, I disperse. Y'all get stuck on one thing for like weeks on end, even months. And it's just like you need to find something else to do. Next kind of content is what I call social media for people who don't have other social media apps. What I mean by that is you see this a lot on TikTok where someone on TikTok will verbatim say a tweet, but they'll try to make it seem like it's their own thought. And here's the thing about that. I have no problem with that when you are either showing the tweet that you're reading from or using that tweet as like a jump off to have a bigger conversation. Like there's this guy on TikTok, I can't remember his name, but all he does is just retweets, laugh at them.
I found out why I'm single. Apparently you have to go outside and let people see you. No. Becoming addicted to iced coffee was the most expensive decision I ever made.
And that's his entire TikTok content. I have no problem with that because he's showing that like the things that he's making content out of are not his own. It's not like necessarily giving credit because it's Twitter. Like who cares? It's Twitter, but still you can tell that they know these aren't my thoughts, so let me give credit to the people whose thoughts they actually are. And I see it so much to the point I'm just like, y'all don't think, are y'all not funny in real life that you need to constantly take other people's jokes and present them as your own? And it doesn't happen on, actually I'm lying, it does happen on Twitter where people will take TikToks and then just post it on Twitter, but usually it's like using it as a jumping off point to have a bigger conversation, and then there's like discourse for days about what is essentially nonsense. But at least they're not trying to make it seem like these are their thoughts, right? Well, maybe it's because it's in video form, so like you can see for a fact that it is not your thoughts. But like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's just like I don't like when all of your content is clearly something you just took from someone else. Like, please just make your own stuff. It's not that hard. This would have gone crazy on Tumblr. Now, this isn't content that I actually hate. I have no problem with it. Like, I don't mind it. But there's just some tweets or TikToks that you will see that I'm just like, this belongs on Tumblr. And I get it. Like after, I think it was like December of 2018, I believe, when like Tumblr had that huge purge of all NSFW material. All the like Tumblr weirdos were like basically refugees and had to find new social media apps to make their home. And a lot of people chose the two biggest ones, Twitter and TikTok. But you just see some content that I'm just like, this should be in a Tumblr feed. This should be in somebody's Tumblr blog. I should not have to see. Well, I would probably see it because I'm also like sort of still teetering on Tumblr. Like I still go back on Tumblr. Sometimes I still have an account. But like I just see some content. I'm like, this is not the right place for this. This is not the right place for this. The thing about each social media app is that they each come with their own ecosystem that has been created by the people who use that app. And even if those people use multiple apps, there is a difference in the way they interact in each app because of the culture of those apps. And when I see something that is just so out of place, I'm just like, I really wish Tumblr didn't die so all the Tumblr content could be in its rightful place. I want to know which political official I have to speak to defund video essays. You see it all the time on YouTube, you see it all the time on TikTok, you see it all the time on any other video app. And here's the thing, I'm not anti-video essays. I actually really love video essays. It's one of my favorite forms of content. I love watching other people deep dive and talk about things. Like my favorite type of video essays are videos that talk about feminism, black culture slash history, not really politics, yeah, not really politics, but feminism, black history slash culture, and then animation. I love like all the animation channels that break down all the shows that exist, talk about all the episodes, give me information about what's happening in the animation world. Love them. Love them down. I'm actually going to make a video one day soon about all the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to and then the YouTube channels that I'm not subscribed to but do frequently watch. But I dislike video essays because not everything needs to be a think piece.
People don't make albums anymore. They don't make albums. They just try to sell a bunch of little quick singles and they burn out and they put out a new one and they burn out and they put out a new one. People don't even listen to a body of work anymore.
Like a serious think piece. Here's the thing, you can think deeply about like media, for instance. You can think deeply about the movie you watch, you can think deeply about the music you listen to, you can maybe like just observe the world around you and make a think piece about it. But there are some things that I'm just like, you want to seem smart so badly, and I can tell that you're not smart in real life. Like I can tell you heard all these words on the internet. You didn't read them in a book. You did not read them in a book. You did not learn these words with context. You just decided that you wanted to turn on your camera and open your mouth and let whatever words fall out. And we really don't need that. Like, just pack it up.
Like, y'all deadass do not know what words mean. What the fuck is this?
Y'all don't have the range for the conversations that y'all try to engage in when it comes to these video essays. You do not have the range at all. You see these people try to come to conclusion, and that's also the thing. You'll come to bad conclusions, and you come to bad conclusions because you don't have the range. So you're talking about something that you don't have the knowledge to talk about, and then because you don't have the knowledge, you come to bad conclusions, and then you share those bad conclusions out into the world, and you don't even like position it as, oh, these are just my thoughts. You try to make it seem like it's fact, and that's a problem. That's a problem. Y'all just have such a shallow analysis on everything, and you try to make things seem deeper than they actually are, and you use words that are just so big and fancy, but it doesn't make sense. And of course, this has to do with media literacy, which is like a big buzzword that everyone's been hearing. I've been hearing it so much. And I don't think a lot of people know what it means. But media literacy is the ability one person has, or the ability people have to analyze media, to be able to understand what it is talking about, to also know the audience of media, because that's also the thing. That's also the thing about social media. Like, if you know what I mean when I say bean soup, if you know what I mean when I say bean soup, one, you're chronically online, like I am, but also it's because you understand that people lack such media literacy and basic literacy. If we're gonna be honest, basic literacy, y'all are not smart. And because y'all lack that, you are unable to understand what a piece of media is actually saying, what the director is and isn't trying to like co-sign, because not every single thing that is made into a movie or anything that is talked about in media is being glamorized. They're not, the directors and the writers aren't by default writing a bad character agreeing with the things that they do. They're just writing a character who is morally dubious. And because y'all don't have basic media literacy, y'all don't understand that. Y'all also don't understand when a piece of content is for you and when it's not, which is why I keep saying bean soup. Which is why I keep saying bean soup, because you were there. You had to have been there when that lady got on TikTok and said, hey, this is the soup that you need to make for your period, that's all beans. And the comments were filled with people saying, what if I'm allergic to beans? What if you're allergic to beans? Bean soup. What if I'm allergic to beans? Bean soup. You don't have to cook the soup if you're allergic to beans. If you don't like beans, don't like the way they taste, don't like that they make you fart, you cannot do that. Because not everything that comes across your For You page is meant for you. And if you had basic media literacy, you would know that. If you had basic media literacy, y'all would know that. And honestly, the last thing is the obsession certain content creators have with turning every TikTok challenge, controversy, whatever, into a video. I understand it, especially if you are a commentary or a reaction channel. You are supposed to make commentary about what is going on in pop culture. But I feel like there's a difference between making a genuine video about a phenomenon that is going on in pop culture and just making a video reacting to whatever is currently happening because you have no other content ideas. And I feel like commentary channels are just becoming the new age version of reaction channels. And remember, like, if you were on YouTube in like the 2010s, reaction channels were a very big thing. There was also a very big channel called React. Like, it was a thing where people would just react to other content that was happening. And I feel like commentary channels are becoming the same thing, where it's just people watching TikToks and then making maybe one or two comments in between it and then being like, this is my commentary video. This is not a commentary video. This is not a commentary video because there's no analysis. There's nothing happening. If you do say something, it's something that's so like base level and like uninteresting as a thought that's just like, you really didn't need to make this video because you didn't say anything that we couldn't have thought of ourselves. Well, we have come to the end of our video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to subscribe and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.